talking about?
Hello and welcome to Talking About. I'm John Griffith.
I'm Cara Kilduff. Welcome.
And it's hot in here.
That's what I'm talking about. There's no AC, people.
The wonderful world of Queens Public Television. Actually, they're laying down infrastructure so that we can go HD. So we have to suffer now, but we'll be wearing makeup later because you'll see every flaw on our face.
Nuh-uh. Really?
Well, you don't have any flaws.
Thanks.
Welcome. It's so good to have you back.
Guys, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. See.
I know. Welcome.
You have to excuse me. I ate a horse for lunch.
And
working on a new act. I ate the whole horse.
Nuh-uh.
And,
You're going to have to
now
excuse
I can't
us.
speak.
Wait, you were serious about this. Oh, my God. I thought that was a joke. Wait, we have to explain who you are to our viewers that aren't familiar with Daniel. Daniel is the heir to...
The successor to Harry Houdini.
The successor to Harry Houdini. He's also a motivational speaker and does programs about HIV/AIDS. You do a lot of stuff, a lot of youth outreach.
Yeah, which I really want to get into today, is just because you're doing such phenomenal work in that area.
Thank you. I'm excited. You know, since the last time I was here, man, it's been like a whirlwind. Do you know what I'm saying? And when we talk about this youth outreach work, I was like, my work really get just too intense for me, so I had to take a little time off and kind of rescope. I shut down Facebook. I had a complete disconnect. I had to do it.
How did that go for you, by the way?
Can I tell you, it was absolutely divine.
Really?
Yeah, you want spiritual intervention, shut down Facebook for like 2 weeks. It is incredible. You get to regroup. I had a Justin Bieber moment. That's really what I had. So I was going very nuts. I had my Justin Bieber moment. I'm now over it.
Okay.
And we are now moving and sailing and wonderful.
So you didn't get arrested or anything?
No.
All right.
I just, you
Peanut bucket safe. Yeah,
you let the life of, bigness just get the hold of your britches and got to be careful.
You have to recharge.
You got to come to earth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been having some issues with my own HIV. My T cells dropped. They just fell below 400, so they're at 345. My viral load just went detectable. So we're a little nervous, and I just got over this I was really horribly ill for the last few days, and I got sciatic, and
you're gonna bounce back.
So listen, I'm ready to go. So it's back in the tanning booth today. Got a little burn. Got my snow going. So
yeah. Well, it's all covered up. So what's the point? At the end of the segment, maybe.
I had much less clothes on last time I was here. Definitely.
I'm trying to remember. Did you?
Yeah.
What was he wearing? What were you
I was wearing a rip-offs, thing. I think, yeah.
Was
a
that?
little
I
sleeveless.
missed that. If you were, I would have remembered that.
You were right here. Oh, because you were too focused on the rubber bands. You were.
Yeah, I remember that now. I do remember that. Yeah, I do. Well, where should we start with this man?
Okay, well, I mean, a little bit about your basic backstory, because for those who weren't watching the first time, I don't know why you would have missed it, but...
Diagnosed with HIV when I was really at the forefront of about to explode in my career as a magician escape artist, and the diagnosis became the backbone of losing a really huge corporate commitment. And everything just went downwards, like overnight. It was like a magic act that you would never expect. Family disowned me. It just got bad. I went through my addiction. Suicide attempt. I just went through my own personal hell. I went through a personal hell. And I tried to return back to the stage of my own without, really announcing the HIV diagnosis, and that wasn't happening. I needed to clean and clear my air and air my dirty laundry and say, hey, this is who I am. I am this vulnerable guy with all of my little imperfections. But my dream is always to, to share the world of magic, the same way I fell in love at 8 years old when my parents gave me a magic kit. So today, now I've incorporated both of those things, both my magic. I've now returned. You've seen the off-Broadway show, which we're hoping to bring back maybe a slightly smaller version. I got some projects going on, which I'll share about some of them, but other ones I'm embargoed from sharing.
Yeah, good. No, that's good.
So,
that's good.
yeah, the embargo's working for me.
Yeah, you gotta let those germinate and grow.
My filter sometimes doesn't work very well. So, but,
that's very exciting.
So now I'm traveling all over. I mean, this past year I counted it up. It's close to about 25,000 people that I have spoken to.
Oh, wow.
And this is from the International HIV STI Conference, where I met doctors from all over the world. I mean, Iran, China, Vietnam, Brazil, like really what's going on in the world. crazy, to high school kids that just...
I looked at your calendar on your website. I was like, holy shit, he is busy.
Yeah,
you are just...
I love it. I love it. And, you know, to see the kids come down and they get into tears. And I have one video where the girl tells me, like, you know, my two dads are gay. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that.
That is the school now they bring me in. It's one of the schools in Staten Island that I do. That I've made a commitment. So these kids are following my life. So I have some schools all over the nation that I go to every single year because this is a journey of life for these kids to, they get to learn about HIV. We're talking about sex. I mean, penises and vaginas and anuses and, you know, little that and everything else. And, you know, I can have this real conversation with them because we know what's happening.
You guys have to go to his website if you want to see these clips, but that one, that was funny. You're like, come on, guys, I know what's going on. I do. And I know that there was nervous laughter in that auditorium. But, like, you laid it out. And then that moment with that young girl, I mean, you know what was interesting about that? When she, at least from my perspective, you guys were equals in that moment. And it's like, because you were listening to her, and I was just like, oh, it was just a really beautiful moment that, you know, you guys were connecting.
I always let the students know they are my equal.
Yes.
But I also need to give a little bit of grandiosity. If you saw in the clip, this one program that I'm doing now, it's called Live Your Life. So they've already followed my journey, and now I have stopped listening to all the echoes of hate. You know, I had to shut down and reevaluate all the voices in my head and just realize that my life is my life. You're not going to define my destiny. You're not going to define my destiny.
Take ownership.
Nobody can tell me that I ever can't fulfill my dreams living with HIV ever again.
Right.
Or because I'm gay, or because maybe I'm dealing with a weight issue, or because I'm dealing with severe depression, or maybe because I'm adopted, or whatever your issue is. HIV is my issue. Gay is my issue. Being hunky is my issue. I mean, you know, it's a flaw. You get bullied all the time. You're so good looking. You know,
You're so good looking.
At least you've got modesty going for you.
So, I mean, whatever your issue is, live your life. So, you know, I know there was one girl who came up, a counselor came up to me and said, she's got to talk to you right away. We saved her life that day. She was ready to jump. And that day, that moment, that message that I delivered, man, if you could have seen this girl.
I wish we had stuff like this when I was in school, because I remember I can't remember the term for it, I don't know, whatever. But like somebody like you showing up at a school, I mean, and it just seems I know it's got to be fulfilling for you to be talking to these kids and just working with them. But for them too, they're not going to forget this or forget you.
Well, it's a conversation, and I have found that if you're going to talk to kids, you can talk to adolescents. I don't call them kids. Really, the way I label them is there are leaders of today. They are our leaders of today. They're not our leaders of tomorrow because they're already in a role where they're going to help redefine bias, prejudice, equality.
And they've got so much more information than we had at that age.
Yeah. So they are our leaders of today. And the principal in that video says, dude, I'm totally stealing your tagline now because I need to start treating my students in my school as the leaders of today. You're absolutely right. And
that was funny watching that.
So it was so much fun. But there was like 6 back-to-back presentations with like 600 kids in each presentation.
Oh my God.
It was pretty intense. But then it goes even beyond the high school. So there's a lot of universities. It was at the University of Minneapolis, Minnesota, a bunch of other stuff. So a lot of the universities are picking up on this. And man, I'm meeting so many awesome people, and it feels really good. But you know, I got to remind myself, even though I'm paying it forward and I'm giving it out, I got to remember to take care of myself too. And
yes, you do.
That's not always easy. You know, we try to, you know, being a public figure.
Save a little bit of Daniel.
You know, I got to remember how much can I be vulnerable and how much I can't. And that's where, you know, I know I poke fun at Justin Bieber, but really that situation is not easy. I mean, you're so public and you're supposed to be such a role model, but then when you want to break down, God, when you just want to have a freaking human breakdown, and I mean, this is why I carry this around with me 24/7 now. Okay,
do you really?
I totally do. So if I have my Justin Bieber moment, I know to strap in and go hide in the closet. I do.
Rock back and forth.
I do. I'm just like I do, and I'm like, you know, oh, Daniel's be all right.
Nuh-uh. Are you serious?
No, I don't.
Oh
but,
my
you know,
God.
Just in case of emergencies, you know. Strap in.
He brought his security blanket, guys.
It's pretty bad.
It's actually a nice beige.
It is,
Goes with everything. Wow, that's crazy.
And it's Yeah, ready for next season.
Yeah, so I've been in and out of this thing. I don't. Whew.
Do you bring that to any of the presentations? Well, because you said you're mixing the two now.
I do, yeah. In fact, usually my icebreakers, like for the universities, is the straitjacket. So here's what I do. I have to fill out like at the University of Minneapolis. Oh, this poor little white straight kid. Oh, poor little thing with his little girlfriend. Pegged him. 5 minutes after he walked in the room, I said, yep, he will be my opener. So,
Shit.
grabbed him right out, gave me the microphone. I said, get on stage. And I was like, have you ever used one of these? And I was like, when's the last time you did little Nicky with your girlfriend? And I'm like, well, I'm going to show you how to make it really hot and sexy. So I had him strap me in, and we got the conversation of sex going. So while I'm about to do this escape, great icebreaker. They get to see me at like full force, because when I'm on stage, I just lay out all my energy, all my emotion.
Mm-hmm. You're in the zone. You're in your place.
Yeah. So it's great. So yeah, I mean, I do my mind reading and my escapes, and I let them tie me up, and so I incorporate that piece so they can, kind of see.
That's
It's kind of like
cool.
date night.
See, I didn't want to touch that. I did not want to touch that. I need that for you.
Yeah, I go there.
So the outreach work is, we need more of it. We need more of it, and I have a little home project that I'm working on right now with HIV, and there's a certain personality that made a commitment to the USA to be the global envoy of AIDS. This big personality hasn't done anything. When they accepted this role, and this is somebody that I absolutely idolize. I mean, what a humanitarian this person. I'm not going to name who it is because it's not the right place or time. And this person does so much, but I'm just wondering why we got forgotten for the last few years. I'm just wondering why there's only been press release announcements, but your promise.
It's not a visible commitment.
It's not a commitment. You don't think so? You don't think it'd be more of a?
I'm saying the way it's playing out is it's not the press release isn't really a visible commitment.
Yeah.
Getting out there and doing is a visible commitment. You're getting out there and doing.
Yeah, which I'm hoping we can.
There's a difference when you take on, I think, when you say you want to do something to work with people who are in recovery or whatever, and you're on the board of a place. There's a difference between somebody who's a board member of a place and somebody who's actually in the room with the people in recovery, working with them. You know what I mean? So maybe
I agree, but I think someone of absolute fame stature, with public fame stature, who accepts a role for such a massive social justice, has the duty to use that personality to maybe impact change. Like Macklemore, love the guy. The whole marriage equality thing that he did. Is that the name, Macklemore? I just know because I jammed his love song. So, but I mean, I think he's had an impact on our movement
as an ally.
Yeah, and reframing, referencing the fantasy book of your life, not my life.
Yeah.
Mine started with the Lion King, to be honest with you. There are a lot of little animals. Mine's more like the Lion King, with the crazy monkey. My bad,
I love that character.
Yeah,
That's a great character. Come on.
So that's my Pope. So, but we'll see. A lot of traveling coming up, a lot of big projects. One that I want to talk about so badly, but I can't.
You're a tease. What can you talk about?
Let's see, what can I talk about?
What project are you allowed to talk about that you're jazzed about?
I can't talk about that.
You talked about doing some dates locally in the summer.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna bring a little show back to the dates. I think it's gonna be a little more comical, not on my serious side. So I think it's gonna be, I want it to be like a 360 round, because Dr. Oz just tried to unveil the straitjacket escape secret on one of his episodes. Did you see this?
No, I
didn't.
I was furious. He got a $3 yellow page escape artist to come in with a $2 straitjacket and attempted to reveal a legendary secret held by the great Houdini, and to unveil it on national TV. That is just one secret code you don't touch. You don't touch the Houdini code. He broke it. So.
That's giving me goosebumps.
Yeah, I was a little sad about that. But it's actually, a real escape artist does not need a gimmicked straitjacket to get out. This is not gimmicked. This is the one you find in Bellevue when you're on the 10th floor.
Oh my God.
These are the ones they use up there.
Oh my gosh. Where do you buy a straight jacket?
It was a souvenir.
Where's property of Bellevue on there?
It's actually tattooed.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I was trying to keep it,
the internet.
GX rated.
Keep it PG. We don't have those kinds of rules here.
PG-13.
I was going to
Soft
ask you
R.
something else, and now it's like gone. Because I was going on your web. By the way, Daniel's website is Daniel Bauer, BAUER.us, and I suggest that you guys take a look at that. There's tons of. I don't even know how you keep up with yourself. You have so much shit going on.
It's just like had a moment of like deja vu of like the last 360 days. It's been hard. I mean, I've
How do you like try and conserve a little bit of energy so you're not completely depleted after? Well, that's the thing. You must be so depleted after these presentations that you do.
I'm so emotionally wrecked after
I bet.
these presentations. That's why I think, your next guest, Ray, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him on speed dial so I can get enlightenment and spirituality to like really calm me down, because I am a wreck after these things. And then you have to stand, and these people want to meet you afterwards and give you a hug. And I want to embrace that love, because God only knows I've been void of that for so long in my life. I want to, but then
You're still giving.
It's like you're trying to mix the dark energy with the light energy with the, it's just like, oh man, how does anybody deal with that? So my doctors and I worked on some magical pills that have me feeling better.
Good.
Just
Your paper towels there.
oh, thank you. I knew that was lost in the straitjacket for a reason.
I thought it was to keep your
guys are
straight
really
jacket
trying to
fresh. I don't know.
Get these clothes off me. I'm like, abracadabra.
The
This is-
AC was broken.
It's what we do.
and for my next act, who's got $1?
I'll be right back.
Wait, I even have Calvin John today too. They're kind of sexy. All right, anyway.
And voice now.
We're good. We're
You
good.
are
Anyway.
crazy.
My mind just went there, sorry.
It's all right.
Dirty boys. I'm always in the middle of it.
Well, when a year from 6 months or a year from now, when you're on with us next time, what do you hope to be able to tell us about?
Here's what I'm hoping. Here in 6 months, I am hoping that this grand project that has been coming to fruition, that I will be able to sit here and we will be able to talk about the stages up to that.
I don't have any doubt.
I would love to come here.
It's potentially a level of increased visibility.
Huge.
And
Huge.
that's,
But not just for me, but for the virus. And for people who are living with the virus who've ever thought their dreams never mattered a bit. So if this happens, yeah, it's going to be good.
and
It's going to be good. This is going to be my Carly Rae J. Repson moment. That's what I'm calling it.
I have no doubt, because you're a very driven person, but I know that there's more that has to do with it than just being driven. But I hope things work out for you the way you want them to, or the way the universe wants them to.
One day at a time. It is all about the universe.
It is one day at a time.
And sometimes I try to, spin the axle on my own.
It doesn't work.
Man.
I can't. I love that. I love this. I love that you just said all that. It's so true. Don't get me started.
but,
I love that.
on the roller coaster that is life, it looks like that you've actually buckled in, raised your hands, and just started to enjoy the ride.
Yeah, at this point, I am done going against the wind. I'm just going to go with it, and I'm going to let my wings spread, and I'm going to let go of the ego and keep it in the toaster with really good maple syrup. Because sometimes you got to get sticky, you know what I'm saying? So.
No, that's
Sorry, I was about to go there again.
I can't stop smiling. I'm so glad that you're here, and like all this good
It's
stuff
so
is
great
going
to
on
see you
for
guys.
you. Yeah.
It's been too long.
I know.
But I'm back, and we're in force, and we're excited, and we're changing lives, and we're bringing back.
It's so important.
We're bringing back. We're bringing back wonder and mystery. Those are two things that I think are lost here amongst us. And
I agree.
when people can reignite their sense of wonder, and when they can reignite their sense of mystery, I think we're going to find a lot more hope, and we're going to see a lot more joy happening.
Yeah, well, thank you
agree
for,
with you.
for sharing the joy with us for this segment. Your website one more time?
DanielBauer.us, or you just Google my first name and last name, I think. I'm like,
Yeah, you're
very excited to
you're
brag
at the
about
top
that.
of the
I earned the #1 spot when you hit my name. Yes.
Brag away.
That might change tomorrow. I don't know.
No, brag away. Brag away.
Thank you for guys for always being so kind and.
Of course. Wait, really quick. I was talking to a client today, and I was like talking about who was going to be on the shows, and I'm like, he's so handsome, and he's this and that. She's like, do you have a picture? And I was like, yes, I do. He's amazing. She just started me. I'm like, go look at his website. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me on. So I'm going to take my security blanket.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get some
for just a
enlightenment.
second.
I can't believe you brought that as your security.